and that are kind of past their prime and do not meet today's programming needs. We know so much more today than we did 100 years ago, for example, in the case of Boys Totem Town when that was built. And we really want to build a space that's right for today's need. Additionally, the population that we're talking about is declining, which is, of course, really the best outcome. And so we want to build a facility or create a space that's smaller and that, again, better suits the needs of today. Through the Juvenile Detention and Alternatives Initiative, both counties have reduced the confinement of low-risk youth in recent years. I mentioned that. And so what we're really looking at is new programming models and building a physical space that support those models, whether it's one location or more than one. What's happening right now in many cases is that our youth are being sent out of state because we don't have the facilities and space here to support what we would, the way we'd like to work with youth. And I think we could probably all agree that sending youth out of state is not the best answer. It's much better if we're able to support youth in their own communities, with their own communities, able to help them and support them through the work that they'll be doing at a facility like this. So what we're looking at is a kind of new and better future for this particular population. To share a little bit about the timeline, the plan is that both boards, Hennepin and Ramsey County boards, will vote on this. And when I say this, I feel like I'm referring to something pretty amorphous right now because it's so dependent on this type of work and this feedback. But whatever shape it takes, based on this kind of feedback, we want to vote on it at some point in early 2017. And regardless of which path we take, which of the many possible paths we take, I want to assure you that both counties are deeply committed to deep end reform and really looking at how we can serve youth better, as I said at the beginning. So without further ado, let me introduce Karen Kugler, who's actually going to introduce herself.
Good evening. First of all, we've got a lot of space up here. We've got a lot of people standing in the back, so if you want to come up and grab a seat, we'd love to have you do that. So my name is Karen Kugler, and I'm the Area Director of Juvenile Services for Hennepin County. And I'd like to just echo some of the statements that Commissioner Green stated. We're very happy to see so many people out here tonight, and we'd like to give you a warm welcome. Once again, there's a room back there that has some snacks, so please feel free to help yourself, and we'll go ahead and get started here. So, as you can see, we've got today's agenda is kind of posted around the room in different areas, and there's some agendas in the back, so please help yourself. And then what we're going to do is we're also going to be recording all the feedback and conversations that we have tonight, both at the tables and as well as the large group conversations that we'll have. And we've been doing these at the other community sessions that we've had. And please know that community feedback will be included in the report to both county boards before they vote on whether or not to move forward. So we'll be recording your thoughts, and once again, that will be included in that report. So we're going to start by giving everyone time to visit 3 different tables, and this is similar to the format that we had at the St. Paul meeting on November 1st. So if you were at that meeting and were able to attend and go to these tables, we encourage you to go back. We have some new information, and please engage in the dialogue in the 3 different areas. So at this particular point in time, I'd like to kind of turn it over to some opening comments from the table hosts. And do we have a floating microphone, or?
We don't.
We don't. So can the folks that are at the different tables introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Hi, my name is Angie Cousins, and I am the project coordinator for Hennepin County. And our table topic is about the joint project, the timeline, information to date. And so you're welcome to come, and I'll let Barbara introduce herself.
You definitely could have more. That's fine, thank you. Good evening and a warm welcome extended to you from me. My name is Barbara O'Brien and I work for Hennepin County in the Facility Services Department, and I co-chair the part of this project that will look at site selection and the actual building portion of it. So just kind of in on the early stages.
Yeah, Gerald, do you want to?
Yeah, my name is Gerald Moore. We're just talking about the storm efforts that went on with JDI in Hennepin County and also Ramsey County. So if you want to learn about reform and what we've done for the last 10, 11 years, please come to this stage.
And I'm Michelle Finstead. I'm with Ramsey County.
Randy?
Hi, I'm Randy Bacon. I'm the superintendent of the Hennepin County Juvenile County Homeschool. And this is Monica Long, and she's the assistant superintendent at the Hennepin County Homeschool. To her left is Mr. Keith Lattimore. He is the superintendent of Boys Totem Town. And Janine Wishnick to my right here is the committee chair for programs at for the project of collaboration between Ramsey and Hennepin. We are here for the juvenile corrections programs and services, so please stop by and ask us any questions you would like.
Okay, now it's you guys' turn. So we're going to ask you guys to get up and visit the tables and, join in some conversation or ask any questions that you've got to these tables, and we'll do this for the next 20 minutes.
Visit the tables.
I welcome everybody to a community meeting that's happening in Richfield, Minnesota this evening. Thanks for joining us. This is Unicorn Riot. We are covering this community discussion between Hennepin County and Ramsey County in Minnesota of the prospect of building a new super youth prison. It will have 162 beds. This means that 162 more incarcerated youth will be potentially housed in this new super prison that is being discussed.
Excuse me.
We are going to take a little break.
We are here
come
with
back.
the Youth Prison Blockade and the Black Liberation Project, and we're here to shut this down and start taking it over for our community and let our youth speak. So we want the youth to come up here, the real youth, the people that are going to be affected by this prison. That you guys you're on phase 3 now, and you're just now bringing the community in here and having the youth speak? We're taking this over. Yes.
At this point, the youth are speaking, the people who are going to be directly affected by a new youth
80%
prison.
of people who are incarcerated currently have been some time in their life in the child welfare system. When you have 80% of people who've been in child protection, who are already traumatized, and you expect them to be put into treatment facilities that your country was actually prisons? How dare you? When you have people who are in foster care, black, brown, and indigenous youth who are being traumatized currently by treatment facilities, when 2 of your treatment facilities are under investigation for sexual and emotional abuse?
Come on, girl.
Hi, my name is Farhia Abdullah. I'm 19 years old. I've been in St. Joseph's Home for Children over 19 times.
Listen!
I've been in 8 different foster homes within those 19 times. And within the last year, I was removed from a foster home because that foster parent was stealing money from me without my knowledge out of my bank account.
Yep.
And then I was placed into a different home. And then I was removed from that home because I became addicted to drugs and alcohol.
Come on, girl.
Take your time. Go ahead. Tell them what you're here for.
Instead of Hennepin County providing me with my mental health services that I really needed, they threatened me to send me to Lino Lakes and remove me from the foster care system.
How dare you?
I'm 19 years old in the extended foster care system that you're trying to steal money from.
Yeah.
Preach.
And then after that, they went through with their threat, kicked me out of foster care. I was homeless for 2 months.
Listen!
Shame on
My
you.
guardian ad litem had to fight really hard to get me back into the system. and then you threaten me again to put me back out on the streets when you're supposed to make me feel safe? And because you couldn't find me a foster home?
Listen.
Are you serious? Get your shit together.
Listen!
My name is Kai, and I run a youth advocacy program called My Generation. I work with 5 different foster youth to educate youth in Hennepin and Ramsey County about their legal rights. When you have foster children who having their rights violated because people like you on the stage are preaching bull crap. My experience with the foster care system is that I was placed into a residential treatment center because my foster, you're laughing right now, but it's not funny. My social worker placed me into a foster center for girls because they couldn't find me a foster home. An 11-year-old was placed with 16-year-olds who are drug addicts. I've never been to a residential treatment center a day in my life, but you placed me there because you couldn't find me a foster home. A year and a half was taken out of my life because people like you want to stand on the stage and laugh. My life is not a joke.
Listen!
When you have the audacity to take kids out of the system, you're placing, especially the youth who you're targeting right now, is not just random black and brown indigenous youth. You're targeting youth who are already in the system. You're not targeting youth who go to actions. You're not targeting youth.
If you're just tuning in, this meeting in Richfield, Minnesota, about a potential new youth super prison is being disrupted by youth and supporters of this youth against a potential new youth super prison.
Hennepin County lost money. Extra foster care kids have to survive off of $800 a month. No. So, no, what I'm going to need you to do, wait, what I'm going to need you to do is back up. Because you need to let us have a chance to speak before you play them. That's right. No. You can back up and let us do it. You don't choose when you can speak. You don't choose when I can speak. I speak when I want to speak. See, this girl can speak when she wants to speak.
This is a community meeting. Let's be community, please. Let's back up and
You allow the youth to. What youth did you invite to this space? What county officials did you go to? What social worker did you tell that you have the youth here? What PO did you tell about this? What kid did you go to? What residential treatment center did you go to? You don't tell kids about this. I have to go to tell my youth about this meeting. The youth that have been affected by this, you're not telling. So right now, you can sit down and let her speak. Let her speak.
You're imprisoning youth like me. Me. An innocent child that's already been through so much PTSD and traumatized.
Historical trauma, baby, let them know.
And then you continue to imprison people like me, like her, like him. Why?
And make money off of us.
Make money off of us and then steal our money and then make us, you can make us homeless by taking money out of extended foster care. You could make all of us homeless. We wouldn't be able to survive at all. And then not only that, this is not the first time you've cut money from the system, from us.
So, this is what I'm going to say. Every meeting you have, every single time you have these meetings, speak to y'all. Every single time you have this meeting, it will be shut down. Every single time.
What you gonna do?
Every single time it will be shut down. Every single time. You're not gonna do it. Every single time.
What you gonna do to it?
Shut it down.
Yo, so before I speak, if you're involved in this project, if you're involved in the creation of this project, and you want your way out, if you honestly don't believe in this project and you're working for the corrections departments, for the Department of Health, then you should step forward and stand with us right now. Because all the rest of you motherfuckers that's involved with this project, y'all are the new fucking slave traders. Y'all are the new slave traders. And what I want to know is, why do you want to keep enslaving our kids? No, I'm not done talking. I want to know why you want to keep enslaving our kids. I want to know why you want to keep creating intergenerational cycles of poverty. I want to know why you want to keep brutalizing our children. And then I want everybody here to know that Minnesota has statutes to put people under citizen's arrest. All these motherfuckers are conspiring to kidnap your kids. They're conspiring to disturb your peace. They're conspiring to create more poverty and more crime for our neighborhoods. So you can cite Minnesota Statute 629.37 and put any of these motherfuckers in prison. So all I want to say in closing is y'all know y'all are evil. You know that this won't work. We know who y'all are working with, and we know that this project is not going to benefit the community. You know that. None of your projects have benefited us. Us being here, I'm an African. Me being in this country has never been a goddamn benefit. So why are you trying to make it worse? If you really want to make a difference, you will work with us to stop this fucking poverty that's making us turn to crime in the first place. And get rid of these fucking trigger-happy cops that keep fucking with us. So, again, if you really want to stand with us, if you want a way out of this bullshit project, if you want to stop making plantations and start helping people to reach prosperity, then you should come forward, because if you don't, we coming for that ass.
Yo, and for those of you who, like, I saw the people who are up here who are supposed to be so-called leading this meeting, and they're moving away. I don't know if you think that space is going to make you safer or whatever. We're not here to do anything to you. We're here to let you know that this is the end. White supremacy, colonization. White supremacy and colonization worked for way too long. You have kids, you have grandkids, you're going to have grandkids. They're not going to benefit from white supremacy if they're white. It's actually going to be worse, because if you have not seen what's happening at Standing Rock, you see these indigenous people taking back the power that was here when they were here, and we came, when y'all came, not we, when y'all came, you stole me as a slave, but when y'all came here and diseased them, stole their land, and killed them in cold blood, and tried to erase their names and their language, and erase them as people so that you can live the lie of colonization and white supremacy. Oh my God, look at what we're living in now. We're rising up, and this is the end. So when you see us up here taking over meetings, don't think that, oh, they're just hoodlums and we can't wait till they leave and protest is not going to do anything. I can just go back to my capitalist corporate, like people that are running, white men that are running this country, and everything's going to go back to la-di-da. No, we are rising. This is a rise. This is a revolution. And if you can't see it now, and if you love your kids, if you care about your kids and your future, you will believe in this truth and believe in us. And do not try to take the mic from us when we're trying to speak, or we're trying to have our youth come up here and have their lives not be at the hands of the state so they can make money off of them. Okay?
Listen. Yeah, I was once that juvenile too, so I've been out a year and a half. I've done 33 years in prison. What you mean? And I was once that juvenile. Didn't nobody care about me in the system anyway. So actually, from the juvenile center, you preparing it for the penitentiary.
We want the young black youth. That's a
preparation for the penitentiary. That's all it is. I've been out a year and a half. I've done 33 years. I got certified as a juvenile. As a juvenile. In the juvenile system, they didn't do anything to help me understand what's going on in the world or anything else.
They don't have a voice.
So what is the difference of trying to put something here and saying that?
So if you're just tuning in, we are live from an event in Richfield, Minnesota, where youth and supporters of these youth are disrupting a meeting that's talking about
you are preparing the juveniles for
prison. Talking about building a potential new youth super prison where 162 more beds are going to house more incarcerated youth. There's people here that are against this idea.
Something that's going to benefit and change the direction.
No more prisons are bad. This prison is even worse.
Okay, we're going to build a prison and that's it, and we're going to put you. That's what it really is a prison, really. So that's just way off course. It don't make no sense. If you want to bring some real something to the table, let's talk about some solutions. How can I really help you? What are you struggling with? How can we deal with some stuff so you won't have to go through the system? What can I do? That's the stuff we need to be talking about. That's the stuff that y'all need to be talking about. You know, you're sitting in these offices and you're doing all this other stuff, and it really is not benefiting the people. But because who gonna be in the juvenile centers anyway?
Us.
Who gonna be in the juvenile centers anyway?
Our babies.
So are you really preparing or even expecting what's gonna happen if they don't come out like me? With some other stuff that it's us against you, and it always been like that in the system anyway. It's like that right now. It's us against y'all right now. So even when I was in the system, it's us against them. So it's the same stuff that's being perpetuated all the time. When can we come to the table with some real solutions? Some real solutions, some real problem solving, some real things that you want to help us with and get it done. If that's what you want, but really, that's not what you want. So if that's the case, then get out of the way.
And listen.
Get out of the way. Because if one of the things that, for me personally, I like to speak to the heart. Because we all, people in different positions, forget their humanness. So if you forget your humanness, then you just a robot.
Listen.
So if you in the system and you just being robotic, then you ain't really paying attention to what we talking about. So we have to break the robotic down so you to get back to your humanness, so you can feel and know how we feel and touch that part. And that is the healing part. So that is the problem, and that is the solution as well. So we must get back to the real table and bring some real concrete stuff.
Listen.
Say it. I just want to say one quick thing here. Just so the facts for the community that is the first time here. This is a 49% recidivism rate for the youth programs here. 49%. You could throw a stick and get a better percentage by doing that. You are doing nothing to help these children when they get out. You're only perpetuating more trauma to these children. You talk about that it's going to only be for high-risk offenders. I can tell you my story. When I was 12, my parents were told by the county to put me as a CHIPS petition because they couldn't get treatment for me for my mental health issues any other way because we were poor.
Folks must work together to
From
stop
that
poverty.
point, I was in a facility from when I was 12 until I was 17 for running away from home. At 14, I got my personal ID number and sat in solitary confinement because they couldn't find a placement for me for almost 6 months. I am not the exception to the rule. This happens all the time. This happens to all these children. Do you know what that does to a child? Do you know what prison does to an adult?
Listen.
Now think of a baby. Because that's what you are. You're with a design firm? That's right. Who are you with?
I work with Hennepin County. You got babies?
I'm going to tell you right now. You know what you're doing? You're traumatizing babies.
Okay, don't talk to Scott.
Traumatizing babies. You're setting it up, and here's the other thing: 165 beds. 165 beds. The 2 facilities that they have now are not filled.
Listen.
Where do you think they're going to get these other kids from? They're going to bring them in from other counties because the beds are at a higher price. So they are using these children for profit. That's right. For profit. That's right.
Before I have someone else come up here and speak, I just want to make sure y'all understand this, that when we're talking about people who are already incarcerated in like high security jails, 80% have been in the system already. You're calling it a treatment facility for a very strategic and actually a brilliant reason. I'll give props to y'all. Marketing. Not only is it marketing, if you're dealing with kids who are already in the child welfare system, if you call it a treatment facility, your MA, the medical assistant, can pay for part of it. The county is not losing money. The county be gaining money. It's brilliant. I gotta give it to y'all. It's brilliant. Wow. You're brilliant at knowing how to corrupt and how to use black, brown, and indigenous youth.
That's right.
We're talking about babies. I'm talking about teenagers too, because you know, when you turn 12 years old, if you're a young black man or a young black girl in this country, a young black youth, you're a grown person to society.
Listen.
So they don't consider us babies. So we're saying babies to each other. We think it's babies. They think it's grown folks. They don't view us as children. They don't view someone who's already in child protection like Faria as a child. They don't view us like this. So you keep calling it calling it a treatment facility, but call it what it is. It's a prison.
It's a prison.
It's not a treatment facility.
Listen.
You're criminalizing our mind. You're preparing us for jail because you want to. I just aged out 2 weeks ago because you aged out of foster care when you're 21 years old in Minnesota. So this jail that they're building over here. Let's get the
jail. Put it up.
So there's a person who grabbed concept spaces for youth residential treatment facility. The speaker is making it clear that treatment facility would actually be a prison.
You have families who can't even get houses that look like this. You have families who get their kids taken away because there's not heat in the house. And you have mothers who can afford to have their kids in daycare, but you can afford $13 million to build this? But you're taking money out of foster care? When kids under the age of 21 years old are living off of $800 a month, but you can put $13 million towards this? Because my life doesn't matter to you? Because my brown, black, and indigenous lives don't matter to you. Because youth lives don't matter to you. You don't care about us. If you're not profiting off of us, you don't give a damn about us.
That's right. Let them know. I got a little message. Richfield is trying to figure out how to turn the mic off.
Listen.
So, we should all talk as if we can. See what happens? Just so you know, we're seeing when community finally takes things over and says, no, enough is enough, they don't know how to handle it. They don't have control right now.
Organizers of this meeting are scrambling to figure out how to turn off the mic, so this disruption has to be
They don't know how to handle it. So yeah, you can sit there, listen. As it was mentioned, people are rising up all across this country. Indigenous people are fighting and standing up, fighting one pipeline. People in They're fighting another pipeline. Let's go bring the pipeline. Frame all of this. You want to get this?
There are small kids downstairs. You're trying to put 13-year-olds in prison. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to put 13-year-olds in prison. How about those small kids? You gotta move yourself around. They talking about small kids downstairs. How about those small kids you want to put in a little jail cell?
Yep. See, you have all this money to build all this, but as was stated, you don't have enough money to give people good rehabilitative care for real treatment, real care and treatment for drug addictions, real treatment for trauma and mental illness. You have all the time in the world to build this because it's a profit. It's a small number of people. That's what's it. And you can lie to us, but we're not stupid. That's right. We're not stupid. That's right. We're not stupid. And this reality is, as it stated, it's poor black and brown children, poor children in general, they put in places like this. You know why? Because within capitalism, they don't have a place to, this is what they do. They have to warehouse us. They have to warehouse us. They have to decide the people who are going in these youth jails and then eventually are going to go to prison. Because if we are all out and about, there's nothing they can, then there'd be so much social unrest because there's not enough jobs for everybody. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough room for everyone to make it to the top. No, so this is your warehouse. This is
As speakers are on the mic revealing what this youth prison is actually going to mean for youth who are targeted with incarceration. Over here, there's somebody who's filming who seems to be in support of the speakers. He's conversing with others who apparently have been involved in organizing this event, and he's explaining to them that youth of color are really who need to be speaking right now.
I need to have a voice.
Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
Come on. I'm working in Minneapolis public schools. Come on. I've been doing it for 20 years. I have a husband. My husband did 13 years in prison.
Listen.
And when he came out, hey, Kay.
This person that is speaking now did not know that this disruption was taking place, but she is now speaking in support of the disruption.
When he got out, he had to go to the halfway house. If he wasn't able to come home to his family because he had to follow all these curriculums. He had to go through all these steps before he could even be reunited with his children. He had to go through, you got to do this day, and that. Okay, when he was in prison, they had nothing for him to come home to. If he didn't have his family, you got to do this, you got to do that. Then my son fell between the cracks too. Had probation officers telling us, okay, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. But they never, ever held him accountable. I told one probation officer, I said, you know what? I've been working for Minneapolis Public Schools for years. And all you're going to say is another black boy dead. You don't go up to my son's job and make sure that he's there. You're not following through with him. I reached out to every resource. So there he was, a number 2, with a number on top of his head. So many young black males are falling between the cracks. And I just want to say we have to find a solution to get them, the men, the support that they need, the youth, the support that they need, or else they're going to keep falling between the cracks. So we have to find a solution. Because see, our children, our black children don't speak your language. No. Listen. When they learn in these schools, I teach children every day. I tutor children of color every single day. You want to know why they can't learn? Because you use these high accolades and these systems, and that's not how they talk at home. So you got to come with the standard test and give them something that they can hear. They can't learn. Well, little Johnny went to the cabin yesterday and he did this day. Come on now, he never been to a cabin. But if you tell him, hey, I went to the corner store and he could pick, we bought bread. Simple. But you're using language that they don't even hear. They're not even here from, okay, a lot of our kids, they're from right here. But they don't understand your language. And it's designed to make them fail. Nothing's wrong with the way we look or the way we talk.
Thank you.
The last person we'll leave y'all with. The last person we'll leave y'all with. Is this even on? Yeah.
We live.
The last person we'll leave y'all with is Faria, the foster youth who started speaking at the beginning. But before I do that, we continue to always talk about young boys in the system, which they get arrested too. They get put into these bull crap residential treatment center jails. But let's not forget about where you're gonna put those kids who are trans. Do you even think about those? Where you gonna put those trans youth? Oh, you're putting on the board, but did y'all ever think about those trans youth who are gonna be affected? There are so many trans youth who are in foster care, who are in child protection, who are in the child protection system. Who no one thinks about. They have to change their identity to fit in so they don't get hurt. They have to change their identity so they can get accepted to foster homes. And if you're creating this space, where would it be a space for them? Where's the education for your staff?
We don't want that space for any of our children.
And then also, one thing that keeps bothering me is that there are places like this already that look like this. A Boston Center for Girls in Blaine, Minnesota looks like this. This just had better carpet and better kitchen. That's the only difference. Avanti's Center for Girls actually have staff who are not addicted to drugs, who were at the time as an 11-year-old protecting me. So how is your staff gonna get trained? Because you don't give a fuck about us, really.
They don't want you to.
So, and then you have, isn't Tomato also under investigation for sexual abuse? Isn't there a place already in St. Louis County that's getting shut down because of sexual abuse? Why haven't you taken accountability for those 2 places already? How many others? Shut this shit down for the party. This is the last thing I'm speaking.
I just think it's a little funny because I've been to St. Joe so many times.
Oh my Lord. What's St. Joseph again for you?
And St. Joseph Home for Children is supposed to be, it has a residential treatment center downstairs.
Eldred Hall.
Okay. And they, Isaiah Hall, and they have little kid residential treatment centers too. So don't think like 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds are not included because they are. They are.
Shame.
And they have them under strict curfews, bedtimes. They are not even allowed to see anybody. They're not allowed to be around no one.
What city?
Complete isolation.
But what I find kind of funny, you can't find no homes, no beds in St. Joe's, but you can afford this.
Listen.
You can put more beds here instead of extending somewhere like St. Joe's that actually has some pretty decent staff. And then not only that, I just think it's a little funny. Like there's agencies that are supposed to foster us. And they've been under investigation multiple
Family
times.
alternatives.
For sexual abuse. They killed a 4-year-old girl.
Listen.
Suicide.
And they claimed it as suicide. I don't understand where all of you think that we don't matter. When did we never matter? We're human beings just like you. We bleed red just like you. So what's the difference between us and you?
18 deaths. So in 1 year, 18 deaths. 18 kids have died in the foster care system. 18 deaths.
Oh, and then it's confirmed an accident. Accident by ass.
Listen.
If there's other people of the community, that our community, the real community, that actually have some things to say, that have some experience, that maybe have some kids or know some kids that have been locked up or that don't have help for mental health stuff, we want you to come up and speak. We want you to come and tell your story so these guys can hear what we want, because this isn't what we want. And we want to tell you that not just our organization is the Youth Prison Blockade, but many other organizations that are represented here, we're coming after this. This ain't built.
This
we will come after you, and we will continue to come after you until this is done. And you guys come with something different. Until you come with something different. And I have something to say to you. I know that the most of you guys, you maybe got into this field because you love kids, right? Because you had a heart for kids and you wanted to help. And I believe that. I have to believe that you didn't get in this, Tony. You didn't get in this to lock your babies up. You have to stop. This isn't working.
Listen.
The system does not work. Just stop. Because you know there's other states that have done things. Even here, you guys have half the rate of the amount of kids that are locked up in half, correct? Since 2008? How did you do that? With community-based organizations and other things. Put more money into there.
That's right.
Listen.
Look at Oregon. Look at Seattle. Look at Michigan. Look at the Annie Casey Foundation. Go on there. Read it. Read it. The studies have been done. This is debunked. This doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. How many prisons do we have to build to lock up black youth?
Keep making money though.
How many? Native youth.
Listen.
Kids with mental health issues. Come on. Come to the table. Just put it down. I know you got a lot of work into this. I know that you got so much money into this already and so much momentum. Just stop.
Listen.
We're here. We're trying to tell you what the community wants. There's people that want to get behind some other organizations, and we're here to help them.
This person organized this event has included the system does not work. Prisons are about to making money.
Most of those guys are learning to go to prison. That's it. They're learning right now how to go to prison. And we're not talking about who's arresting these kids. What do they look like? Because Deontay may go to jail for something, but Aaron won't.
Listen.
You understand what I'm saying? So why are they there? If most of the kids in these facilities are black, why is that? Why is that? Before we even get to the point of we gotta have these facilities open, let's look at the problem of over-policing our youth.
Listen.
You understand what I'm saying? If you look at me 100% more times than you look at him, you're gonna find something wrong with me. Alright? Stop it. It's done. We tired. It's shameful. It's shameful what you guys are doing. You're taking my tax money and you're locking babies up. That's it. It's done. People, if you support this, it's whack, alright? Ms. Kessler.
Listen.
Thank you. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
I retired. My name is Kay Kessel. I retired from the Minneapolis schools. And for 15 years, since I retired as assistant principal in Minneapolis, Roosevelt, South, and Washburn, I have seen such a terrible situation happen. I never called in the police. My 15 years, I've been assistant principal in Minneapolis. Because the teachers, the social workers, the chemical dependency counselors, all the support staff, we are there for the kids. But it's changed now, and we have to get to the legislature. There are very few counselors in our schools. Minneapolis public schools have not one chemical dependency counselor.
Listen.
My own son went through drug issues when he was in junior high. And I so benefited from the chemical dependency counselor. We have to get back JDAI. And Hennepin County commissioners, you have to invest in JDAI. In Ramsey County, it worked much better. And Michael Belton, you should have some of the people from Ramsey here speaking about.
I'm actually from Ramsey.
Well, I thought you lowered the number of kids that were going through, but I don't think Hennepin County is doing it.
Yes, they are.
Well, they're not enough. And I'm in a project called Interrupting the Prison Pipeline. And who are the portals? The schools and the police. And so we have to train the schools and the police to refer these kids and care about them. So anyway.
Thank you. Speak true, my sister.
Who here is from JDAI? Who here is from JDAI?
All of us, actually.
So, my opinion is that y'all's project has failed. JDAI is a prison reform lobbying group. Y'all are a prison reform lobbying group.
What do you say to that, my brother?
Your project has failed us.
Listen.
It's not going to work. Why should we invest our money that we slave for, that we bleed for, into what you do? You haven't brought us any benefits, so you must step down. The people don't want prisons. Do y'all even see us as people? Do you even see us as people? Because if you did, you wouldn't be involved in this project. If you really believed in people, quit your job. If you really love people, you would quit your job. The training system, and you would come back to us. But y'all are lost. Y'all aren't part of our people anymore. You don't care about us.
That's
right. Y'all never have, and y'all are just using us to make profit. If you really want to know what you should invest in, before we even get to that, you should demilitarize these police. Before we get to that, you should demilitarize the fucking military. Before we get to that, you should start defunding some of these politicians. We don't need y'all. We don't need politicians. We have everything that we need, and y'all don't want to get out of our way.
Thank you.
If you really wanted to invest in people, you would give us money to recover our cultural heritage, which was erased by racism.
Listen.
You would give the land back to the indigenous people of this land.
That's right.
You don't want to do that because you make too much money. But the money ain't worth nothing. Because if you don't have us to make the money, you ain't going to have nothing. You can't eat without us.
So there's workers for